Hello there, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls of all ages. It is ya boy, Raid Shadow. Zombie Punk TV, and we got Donkey Kong 64. I have verified that it is 64. Don't let the memeing, text on the screen say otherwise. Ran by the amazing Obio. Before we get into it, though, I just want to let you know what we're doing this for. Amazing charity benefiting kids with, well, let me just read it here. Easier for me not to break things as well. We're off to an amazing start. So, the mission for this charity is to promote the education and development of children with intellectual disabilities, whether or not they fall on the autism spectrum throughout the entirety of their lives. Now, they offer tools and support. They support projects dedicated to providing them with stimulating, adapted environments that facilitate their path towards a life of autonomy and personal growth. And that is for the... it's in French. I don't speak French. How do you pronounce that? The charity. Les Petits Rois? Okay. That's as good as I do with French. I do apologize, everybody. But I'm before I embarrass myself further, I'm willing to turn this over to Obio and let him explain what he's running here with Donkey Kong 54/64.
Yeah, so I'm gonna do a no levels early run of DK54. Definitely not a mistake that I've done during some missions that G-Virus kept until now. Definitely its own game. DK54, everybody heard of it, I'm sure. But yeah, no levels early is a run which is essentially any percent, but we have one major restriction, which is we have to collect the keys to unlock each areas, and we also have to have the required amount of golden bananas, which means that instead of being a regular any percent run of 25 minutes, it becomes a over 2-hour run because we have to collect so much stuff to advance through the game. But everything else, all the other glitches will be available to us, except entering levels early. So this is what the run is. And to start the run, you might notice I am not on the adventure file menu because I am starting with a glitch straight away in the mystery menu. So I'm going to explain the beginning of it, because the first 4 minutes of the run is packed with stuff to explain. It's very convoluted. So I'm going to explain the start of it, and then after that we're going to start the run. So what I'm going to do here is something called Intro Story Glitch, or ISG for short. It is done by canceling this cutscene that I'm going to start here at 2.2 seconds. And what it does is that we regain control in the menu, but the cutscene plays in the background. We do not hear or see the cutscene, but it is playing. And with that cutscene playing in the background, we're going to be doing some funky stuff. So with that, I am ready to start. And just for whoever's on the timer is not confused, if I do miss the ISG at the beginning, I will restart, and I have my own timer to retime the ISG. So you guys don't have to restart your timer. I will do that with my own timer if I fail. So, all right. So, with that, we're gonna start in 3, 2, 1, go. Oh wait, sorry. My timer is not working for some reason. Just 1 second. Why is this not working? Oh, my light just crashed. Great. 1 second. A great moment for live split to crash right before the run.
Pesky live splits.
Yep. Okay, perfect.
I was gonna. No, you're fine. You're fine. I was waiting for him to actually get through this glitch real quick here.
Yep, I'm ready now with my timer. Sorry. Yep. So, calm down. 3, 2, 1, go.
All right. And
okay, so I got it. So you can, you have got ISG whenever the sound is not playing. So normally there's like a, music playing, but right now you only hear sound effects, which you've got ISG on. So now the first thing we need to do is we need to hurry to cranky as fast as possible, because we need to be by the first barrel at 55 seconds. The reason is the cutscene that is playing in the background right now has transition that happens at specific times, and if you don't cancel the transition by doing other stuff such as entering a loading zone, the transition will pull you into the cutscene, and we don't want that because we have stuff to do. So I need to enter the barrel here at about 55 seconds to cancel the transition. There you go. And you saw the starting to fade to black. This is a transition happening in the cutscene. But because I entered the barrel at the same time, I canceled it and I can keep playing a little bit. So with that, I'm going to be doing 2 more barrels, but I need to wait for the next transition, which is going to be at 1:24.5, around there. So I just position myself here and I wait a few seconds for the right time to cancel the transition. There you go. So we're going to be doing 2 more barrels, and right now you're probably wondering, why am I doing this with, a cutscene playing in the background if I'm just going to do barrels, right? Well, after those 2 barrels, we are going to go back to the main menu, and we're going to do a bunch of stuff, which is going to make a lot of good for our run. But right now we just need to do this. By the way, this barrel is like half a second faster if you do it from the right, unless versus if you start to the left. Something we didn't know for a very long time. Okay, so now we're gonna go back to the main menu. The first thing I'm gonna do once I reach the menu is that I am going to what we call examine my file, which basically means going to the stat menu of the file that I started, and this will essentially tell the game that everything I'm going afterwards will be, pointing towards this file. So after that, that's where the magic starts. So I'm going to the necessary menu. I'm gonna watch. Oh, this is the wrong cutscene. Okay, that's okay. I can save it. So basically now I'm just watching a bummer cutscene, and by me watching the cutscenes and basically going back to the multiplayer menu, I am not only writing to the file that I'm watching the cutscene in advance, so that when I get to the adventure file I don't have to watch the cutscenes, but I am also giving my Kongs the gun. So every time you go into the multiplayer under ISG, you're essentially unlocking the guns for every single Kong. So when I get to the adventure file, I will not have to buy any of the Kong's gun. And also, by ending in Fungi Forest here, the other thing that I'm doing is that when you enter a boss cutscene in the main menu, the game automatically gives you the moves that you're supposed to have at that point in the game for every single Kong. So right now, the game essentially just gave me every single move and every single instrument that I'm supposed to have. So when I go back to my file 1, because I examined the file at the beginning before watching these cutscenes, I essentially wrote to my file that all these are already unlocked. Like, all of these things will be unlocked, so no need to farm money or anything. And so now all I have to do is wait for the last transition, which will happen if I get a good cutscene in the menu, which I did. So now I would be automatically pulled into the adventure file again, this time with all the moves, instruments, and guns available for all Kongs, even all the Kongs that are not already unlocked. We're saving a ton of time because we don't have to go to Cranky, we don't have to go to Candy, we don't have to go to Funky at all during this run. We don't have to lose time getting any money. So that's a pretty big glitch. Though there is 3 side effects to this. Because now the game is in the state called the main menu mode, there are things that are disabled. So the first thing is that the start button is actually disabled, meaning that I cannot pause exit of a level. So to exit the level, I have to manually walk out of the level, which, you know, poses a bigger problem than you would think. The second thing is that I don't take damage, because in the main menu you wouldn't take damage. And the third thing is that the game doesn't save at all, because there's no save function in the main menu. Meaning that if I get stuck somewhere or my game crashed, this is pretty doomed. So, that being said, there is a few places in the run where it is actually possible to soft clock, but because I am playing on the virtual console version of this run, I will be doing a few safety saves, just to make sure that if these soft lock do actually happen, that I can restore the run and actually continue the run, because otherwise there's no saves at all during the entire run. Because of the glitch that we just did. So that was a lot of info, but yeah, this main menu mode glitch that we did is extremely powerful, and it saves a great deal of time for this category. So now all we have to do is, you know, we don't have to worry about anything move related. We have everything, so it's just go mode, get as many golden bananas as possible, and the keys to progress through the game. So, okay, now that we've talked to KLMZ, we're gonna go to our first level, which is gonna be Jungle Japes. So, here, I'm gonna attempt to do something called a dance skip. So whenever DK grabs a golden banana, there's usually a little dance it does. There's multiple ways you can skip it. One of them is this one, which I got, which is essentially grabbing a golden banana on the same frame you touch a loading zone. So right there, I skipped the little 5-second dance, and I got warped into the loading zone straight away, saving a little bit of time. So that's a pretty good beginning so far. But yeah, so now we're in Japes. Our first task is gonna be to unlock DD. So we're gonna use this push to go out of bounds. So one thing you're gonna see in this run is that walls don't really exist. You can just kind of go out of bounds whenever you want, using various things such as bushes. And I want to pair that with another glitch called a moon kick, which hopefully I will get within a few tries. This is probably the hardest moon kick in the run for me, so it might take a few tries for me to get it, but...
While you're working on that, you got some time for donations? Because we've had a few roll in.
Can you go?
So we got $100 from Cutie Roo. Much love to you guys for the race and putting on a wonderful marathon. I had an absolute blast. Thank you, Cutie Roo, for the $100 and the kind words. We had a anonymous $50. Here we go. So they're finally here, performing for you. If you know the words, you can join in too. That actually makes me think of something. I did mention earlier that I had gotten the words somewhat memorized of the DK rap. So I'm gonna go ahead and just put it out there. We're right now at 64.54 and some change donation-wise. If we can get this to 7,000 before the end of this 2.5-hour run, very easily done, I will sing the DK rap for all of you. And we also got $20 from DD Gaming. We said $10 per Sphinx, right? We did not say that. Stop trying to get me to spend money. And then G-Virus sent in $60. I said I'd join in on donations based on some metrics I don't fully remember because all I have on my mind right now is fart jokes. So here's $60. It should cover it. Also, pet in French means fart. Thank you, DD and G-Virus.
Alright, so we're gonna continue here. As you see, I've just done a few glitches. I will get to them when we see them again. But essentially, what I'm doing is just I'm doing various things as I am unlocking Diddy. I have to shoot 3 switches with DK's gun to get him, and essentially what I've done is that I'm overlapping cutscenes so that the cutscene of the switch overlaps over other cutscenes that are longer, meaning that I skip the longer cutscene and only get the shorter one of the switches. Alright. So now we're gonna do our first and only Baboon Blast, which is just essentially a mini game of shooting, you know, these cannons, which you've surely seen in the prior 2D games. There is one per level, but this one is the only one that's fast enough to make it into this run. So I hope you enjoyed it. So now that we've got the cage for Diddy, we can go back here and get the GB. And I'm gonna try another dance skip, this time by damaging myself. Well, it didn't work. There'll be plenty of occasions to do it, but essentially what I tried to do here is throwing in the ranges back at myself and the knockback into the GB, and that skips the dance, the 5-second dance. So there are multiple times in this run where we are going to do that with the certain GBs. So that's the second way you can do that. So now I'm gonna switch to Diddy. We're gonna get his mountain GB here. So you can actually switch, hit switch from the sides like this. The hitboxes are pretty weird for those. You don't really have to be in front of them. So I'm gonna jump here. And I want to do something called bridge clip. So normally you're supposed to shoot a switch and walk on a small wooden bridge. But as you can see, with a perfectly timed backflip, you can clip onto the bridge, skipping having to switch the switch, watching the cutscene, and then walk across the room. So we can quickly spawn the GB up top here, and yeah, spawn more GB. Now I'm gonna go to his blueprint. I haven't really explained this, but blueprints in this game are they do 2 things. One of them is that they extend the helm idle helm timer that you have to disarm the Basomatic, which in our case is not gonna matter. But the second thing that it does is that whenever you go to snide, it gives you an extra golden banana. So we're actually gonna be grabbing a lot of these blueprints of the Kasplats, and we're gonna be turning in the blueprints in like a big chunks, because what you can do is you can get a bunch of blueprints for one Kong, and then once you visit Snide, you can turn all of them at the same time, and it saves a lot more time than doing it individually. So now, okay, I missed it again. Another way you can dance skip, well, this is kind of like the second one that I tried, but you can damage yourself off enemies, and you can also skip golden banana dance that way. So now I'm going to try another mooncake. This one is much easier. So I can just mooncake like this, and here on the wall there's a spot that doesn't really have collision, so you can just go out of bounds. And this is like a very important glitch, because otherwise, the way you normally do this room is that you have to collect those colored bananas around the level, and you have to give a certain amount to enter the boss. But because we can just get out of bounds, we can just hit the loading zone from out of bounds, so we don't need to spend any second in this run collecting any of the colored bananas. So yeah, mooncake is a very useful glitch just for that. It would be very useful, but there's a lot of other applications you're going to see throughout the run. Okay. Oh, I barely didn't get it. So what I tried to do here is that if you're fast enough, you can put the TNT barrel in front of the boss, so that when he becomes damageable, he instantly gets hit. But because I wasn't fast enough, he actually shot the barrel. I'm gonna try again here. Ah, damn. We will do the same thing in the 6th boss, because the key 6 reuse this boss, you will be able to do this again. Okay, so that's key 1 done, and after that we're gonna be exiting Japes. We're actually gonna come back to Japes later when we have all the Kongs, but for now this is gonna be all for us here. So to exit, I cannot pause exit, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna void out. So I'm gonna use this torch here, and I'm gonna push myself out of bounds, and I'm gonna hit void. And what void does is that it spawns you at the beginning of levels. So by hitting the void around the level, I can just go back to the beginning very quickly and then exit. So that's a very effective way to exit levels if you don't have the ability to pause exit like we do right now. So you're gonna see a lot of time we're gonna be doing this, where at the end of a level, when we are done collecting everything we need, we're gonna void out to spawn back at the beginning and then just exit out. So yeah, now I'm gonna turn in key 1. This is gonna open the 2nd level, Angry Aztec, and we're gonna have some more glitches in there. But before that, we have to make a detour for something that's gonna become very important. So we're gonna go see our friend the Banana Fairy. Normally you need Tiny and Mini Monkey to go in there and see the Banana Fairy. But this is DK64, we don't need to wait for that. So what I'm gonna do is something called Swim Through Shore, which is essentially just panning the B button for the B button swim animation. And you can just go underneath and then jump into the loading zone. So now we're talking to the fairy, and what this does to us is that we get the camera. But not only do we get the camera, which is going to be important later, but we also get something else which is very important to the run, which is Shockwave. So the fastest way to kill Cusplats in this game is to Shockwave them. And since we're going to be killing most of them, this is a very it saves a lot of time to do that over either hitting them or shooting them with guns. It saves a very big deal amount of time. And also the camera will come very useful for another glitch that we're gonna do later. Alright. So up to Angry Aztec. So first thing we're gonna do here, because it's on our way to the main area of the level, we're gonna stop and get DK's blueprint. Sometimes it can be a bit trolly, but hopefully it's fine. So the splat is on like a... Did I not hit this? Okay. Yeah, sometimes switches are bad. But yeah, as you're gonna see, the splat is like on a very small tin bridge. And yeah, sometimes it's kinda hard to stay on it. So hopefully I don't fall. I guess something I should mention is that you're only ever gonna see me shoot a splat with either Chunky, DK, or Diddy. The reason is that there's actually different amount of damage from guns. So Chunky deals 3 damage per shot, DK and Diddy deals 2, and Tiny and Lanky deals 1 damage. So for a Kasplat, it takes Tiny 15 shots to kill a Kasplat, so it's just not worth it. So that's why we only ever use the gun for Kasplat for the 3 other Kongs. But even then, we don't always use the gun, just because one thing that's kind of difficult with this run is that we are actually fairly low on resources throughout the run. Like, we need to be very vigilant with how we use our resources. The crystals and the ammos, the oranges. Like, we need most of them, and we don't have that much room to just waste. So we have to be careful. So here I'm gonna attempt a Chimpy charge clip. Good. So with the speed and the angle there, I was able to clip the pillar and go out of bounds all the way to this golden banana. And this actually does not unlock Tiny. We actually have to do the puzzle to unlock it. But to do the puzzle, I am going to go to the O first. So you're supposed to spell the letter Kong, you know, starting with K. But turns out, if you don't press the switch with Didi's face, the K is never active. But if you start with the O, the game will detect that you did the wrong input and reset the puzzle. And by resetting the puzzle, it does activate the letter K. And so by inputting a wrong letter, it's actually faster than, you know, activating the puzzle the normal way. Yes, DK64 walls do not exist. This is a suggestion. So yeah, now we're gonna something I didn't mention before, but this is a phase swimming. It's done by it's a math error whenever you go in first person. So there's a calculation that happens for what's called a collision when you go in first person, and if your wall is facing a certain range of angles, the math calculation, I think, does an overflow or something like that, and because of the overflow, the collision doesn't work, and you can just go through the wall. So that's called phase swimming, and you've already seen, I think, 2 instances of it. But right now, we're about to do something called spawn snagging. So I'm gonna attempt to collect the golden banana from a room that isn't loaded already. So I'm gonna go out of bounds here, and you see the sparkle. It's the sparkle of the golden banana. Oh, I forgot to do Ooh, okay. This is actually a point that could have soft locked, and I completely forgot to do a safety save, so I'm pretty happy it didn't soft lock. But essentially what I did there is, there's a room with the puzzle that Tiny has to do, and we completely skipped the puzzle by grabbing the golden banana that was loaded in near the room before the room loaded. So when a room loads, what happens is that the golden bananas that are associated with the puzzle, they despawn. But if you don't load the room, the golden banana doesn't despawn, and you can just grab it from out of bounds like that, meaning that you don't have to do the puzzle. Not every single GB works that way, but this one is very conveniently there to be grabbed, so it's pretty good. And now we're just gonna do face clip. This is very easy. You just ponytail towards the face and it pushes you out of bounds. It doesn't always work, but it's pretty easy. It's just kind of random. Now we switch to Didi. We're gonna do his Gong Tower GB. There's a neat little thing we're gonna be doing here, but I have actually 2 things. One thing is that I'm actually gonna cancel the Chimpy charge. So normally there's like an animation whenever you hit those, where you can't do anything for like 2 seconds. But if you jump out of the animation, you can just continue. And the other thing here is I'm gonna turn around to be able to go backward and jump onto the tower. And so now I am already on top of the tower where the GB spawns, meaning that I don't have to go around, get the rocket barrel to go up here, saving quite a bit of time actually. And also, it saves quite a bit of crystals, which you have to use to when you use the rocket barrel, and crystals are, you know, very important. Alright, so now we're going to be switched back to DK, and we are going to do key 2. So we're going to do another mooncake. Pretty much every single Trophenscuff room... Oh, that doesn't work. All the Trophenscuff room work the same way. They're like the same layout, so If you have a way to go out of bounds in one, the other one will work. Come on. Okay. Little difficulty getting the mooncake, but yeah. The mooncake works in every single drop and scuff, like the one in Japes, like this one. And all you have to do is roll to the cutscene. And as you see, we're getting straight away in the boss. And this is because when I did the MMM glitch at the very beginning of the run, I watched this cutscene specifically. So the flag for the cutscene is already cleared, so I don't have to watch it now. Yeah, Wii U VC mooncakes are a bit harder, in my opinion, but because this is not played on the N64, this is played on the Wii U VC, like I said earlier. There is actually key differences. There's way less lag in this version of the game, meaning that lag clips are not really a thing in this version. But we have, you know, a big advantage just because of less lag. Okay, that hits. But there's actually, unfortunately, quite a bit of input lag when you play this version, so you have to get used to your action not being instant. Alright, so that was key 2. Fairly straightforward. So now we're gonna do something called banana push. If I can get there, okay. So I'm gonna jump on top of Funky. And I'm gonna use the banana of the roof to push me out of bounds. And reach this bonus barrel. It's actually very easy. All you have to do is turn around, jump, and go towards the wall. And then aerial attack, and you flip out of bounds, pretty much. As long as you hold forward. And so this minigame is essentially just get to the end without getting caught by the lights. So fairly straightforward. So now I'm gonna attempt another dance skip. Nice. So I used the wall to bounce an orange back to me so that I could damage myself into the GB, skipping the dance. So yeah, now we're gonna go back, go to the last area we need in Aztec, which is the Llama Temple. We're gonna be entering towards the back. This is actually one of the easiest bits in the game. All you have to do is walk and descend a little bit, and then roll towards the temple when you clip. Very convenient. And then now all you have to do is backflip into the loading zone, and you're in. So here we're gonna do probably one of the best glitches in this round. So what I'm going to do is clip out of bounds, and I will jump, pull out my gun, and I will walk into the water with my gun. And this does not remove my gun. You know, when you splash into water, you lose your gun, but when you walk into water like that, you don't. And what I'm gonna do is that I'm gonna basically make my Kong model rotate to, upwards. And as you're gonna see right now, my Kong is essentially walking, you know, laying down on the floor. And this is very broken. As you're going to see, we can just walk through walls like this. If I could get the height from the coconut switch, that'd be great. Great. So the reason we can walk out of bounds with this state is the collision of the Kongs versus the walls is actually tied to the feet, and by rotating the model, you also rotate the collision. So the collision never happens because it is rotated, and the wall just lets you through. Essentially. What am I doing? Okay. I couldn't remember the puzzle for a second. So here it's pretty easy. So you have like pairs of two, which are the same color and same sound. So you just, you know, once you know the pattern, it's not very hard. So now we're just gonna walk through the wall because we're skewed all the way to the Lanky's blueprint. And we're gonna use a shockwave to get the splat. But yeah, this is the power of skew. If you can get skew, you essentially can go anywhere. There's one notable thing to know with skew is that it's actually very easy to lose this state. If you press the A button without anything else, you know, just a straight jump, you lose skew. If you fall in water, you lose skew. And I believe there's another way as well. I think if you play an instrument, you lose skew as well. So you gotta be pretty careful with the inputs that you do, because there's gonna be sections that we're gonna be skewed, and if we lose skew, we soft lock. So we have to be somewhat careful. So that was Aztec. So skew right there was pretty useful, so we used it to void out of the level. Which, like I explained, when you void out, it puts you at the beginning of the level. So, because we were done with Aztec, we could just then leave. So, it's pretty useful. Yeah, the dance while you skewed are pretty funny. You know, everything is like rotated 90 degree, right? So, in my opinion, it's probably my favorite glitch of all of DK64. It just looks silly, and it breaks the game a big deal. So, no, I love it. Alright, so now we're gonna open factory. Oh yeah, key 2 also opens galleon. There are 2 keys that don't open anything in the game. Those are key 3 and key 8. Well, technically they open the last boss. So, key 1, 2, 4, 5, 6, 7 open levels. And key 3 and 8 open the last boss. So you can actually, in an 8%, what they do is that they only collect key 3 and 8 and fight the final boss. Because the game assumes that you've went through the other levels to get these keys. So it'll work. Okay, so what I tried to do here, so another method to then skip GBs is if you're above the ground, but like the ground is way below you, the game actually won't give you a dance. So what I tried to do there is to grab the GB from, you know, basically from the other side of it, so that the game would count me as being way too far above the ground. But I think the GB was just not close enough to the edge. So coming up is gonna be pretty much the only time of the game I need to actually listen to the game. So I'm gonna do an out of bounds again, and we are going to use our friend Ricardo. So Ricardo is a robot, which is either my best friend or my worst enemy. It depends if it pushes me out of bounds or not. So we'll see. Hey, he pushed me. Okay, good. So I'm gonna go towards a certain room. And this room has a gate. And if you walk underneath gates in this game, they open. Okay, so I heard the gate. Nice. So normally you have to be with Tiny, and you have to go in the tunnel and then go get the GB, and then the gate opens to let you out. But if you just open the gate from out of bounds like that, you can just then go into the room and grab it at the end with Tiny very easily, without having to go into Mini Monkey. So with that, after that, as you've seen, I went to get a GB in production room, tagged warp for it, which is going to be very useful later. And so now we are where Chunky is, which is our last Kong to unlock. And I went the wrong way, nice. So we need Lanky for this. We already have all the moves, so Lanky already have a Runga stand, so we can just go up here. Hit the switch, and then Chunky is free. Oof, okay. Oh no. I barely missed the GB. So what I tried to do there is just, you know, another dance skip. But unfortunately, I barely missed the damage boost. So here, I'm going to do a small detour, and I'm going to grab the instrument with Tiny. This is not going to be relevant until Fungi, but, you know, just keep that in mind that I have the instrument. Okay, so now we're gonna go to the gate that I opened. Well, it should be open here. And just grab the GB. There you go. So normally this is a mini monkey tunnel, and as you see it, you can just completely escape it if you open it from out of bounds. And so now is gonna be a very, very big glitch. Very useful. So for this you need Chunky, and what I'm about to do is something called phase fall, which is essentially the same thing as a phase swim, except use falling down. So for this I need the camera and Chunky. If I can do it. So I need to do a skid jump, camera pull, and go out of bounds. Okay. So what I did there is I did a skid jump, and the skid jump with Chunky makes you go pretty high. And with the height, what you can do is you can then enter first person with the camera. And entering the first person with camera has the same properties as the actual first person that you can enter to just look around. And it gives access to the same exact math error that removes the collision. So if you do a skid jump, pull the camera out, pull the camera in, hold towards the wall, on a wall that is facing the right angle for the math error to happen, then the collision isn't there and you can just go out of bounds. So yeah, now it saved a lot of time because to go all the way to this area of the game, it's like the complete opposite side of the level. But because we can just go out of bounds right there, we don't have to like backtrack a minute to come back here. So now we can just do RNG barrel. Pretty self-explanatory. So yeah, the phase falling is going to be used in a lot of other places. So every time you see me get Chunky and then do a skid jump to gain height and then pull the camera, this is going to be a phase fall. So I want to charge my shockwave on the ladder. Oh wow, the cassette was a bit far, but okay, it still worked. So you can actually charge shockwave as you're doing other things. So for instance, you can charge shockwave as you're taking a warp, as you're going up a ladder, as you're doing certain actions. So it can be pretty useful. So now I'm gonna activate production room. So normally, if you remember at the very beginning of the run, when I glitched out with the robot, I grabbed a golden banana all the way up production room with Lanky. Normally what you're supposed to do in a regular playthrough is that you're supposed to come here, activate production room, go all the way from the bottom and climb all the way to the top to get the GB and the GBs of the other Kongs around the room. But because I already went up there and I already have warp 4, I don't have to climb all the way up again. Good. Another dance skip. So here I'm gonna do another little glitch. So I'm going to skid jump and grab the box instead of doing the actual puzzle here. And if you go in the corner and you pull yourself up, you just get the GB in the box. So that skips, you know, pushing the button, watching the cutscene, jumping on the boxes. You don't have to do anything of that. All you have to do is skid jump, grab the ledge, and get the GB. Okay. I'll just have to wait our turn. That should be very easy to fall off this. And so this is where Warp 4 comes very handy. So normally, like going back to Warp 4 here, is pretty long. Like it's a pretty long climb to get back here. But because we had Warp 4 from the beginning, you know, we don't have to waste a minute going back up. So now we're just gonna take Diddy to his GB. Alright, so coming up is gonna be a different way to get into the boss. So I've been doing monk kicks to get out of bounds, but you can also do ledge clip in this game. So on ledges, there's like a pixel gap in which you can fall in. And I'm using the C button to stop my momentum directly in that pixel gap to fall out of bounds. Like this. So what you do is you input a little bit of movement, use C up to stop the movement, and hopefully the movement stops directly in the pixel gap. And then you can just go to the building zone. So yeah, right now we're gonna fight Magjack. He's probably the hardest boss in this run, but he does have patterns, so he always jumps the same amount of time in each phases. So phase 1, I don't remember the number, but like in phase 1 he always jumps the same amount of time, phase 2 always the same amount of time, etc. You can also kind of manipulate him, like what you want to do with him is essentially make sure he does fast jump, and the way you make sure he does fast jump is by being more than 1 square away. So if you like, he only goes in, he doesn't go in diagonal. So if you are in diagonal from him, he has to travel 2 squares to get to you, and if he has to travel 2 squares, he will do a fast jump instead of a slow jump. And this is how you optimize this boss. You just make him do as many fast jump as he can. Okay, where is the switch? Oof. Oh, I almost fell down. Okay. And obviously, I didn't explain it, but you have to hit the switch on which is the same color that he's standing in. Oh god, it's all the way over there. It's pretty unlucky. The switches are pretty much RNG. Oh no, wow, okay. That's depth perception. Obviously did not want to fall there. If you fall, what happens is that the phase that you're on resets. So I was on phase 4, so phase 4 reset. Oh. Again, very, very far. There's nothing you can do about it, it's pure RNG. So sometimes you get very fast Mad Jack where the switch literally spawns on you, and sometimes you're just not lucky and you have to go all the way over there. So phase 5 is pretty much like phase 4, except Mad Jack is a little faster. Oh, nice. Hopefully if I don't fall down again. Oh my god, I missed the switch twice. I can't believe this. This is so bad. Okay, hopefully I get it this time. I'm having trouble with my depth perception right now. So he's on the white, right? I think. Yes. Okay, don't miss this. Okay, we did it. And that was not the best of Mad Jack, but we did it.
And for a bit of celebration, we got another
yeah, this
donation.
is the hardest boss, so at least it's done now.
We got another donation. If you.
Okay, so we actually only have one more thing to do in this level, so we're gonna grab DK. Well, I guess two more things, but it's quickly done with DK. So first of all, we're gonna get DK's blueprint. You have to be careful with this one. The gun, please, thank you. So to be safe, we shoot it from here because as you see, he's kind of just standing on the vent here. And if you jump before killing the Splat, sometimes what he does is that as you try to jump there to hit him, he will shockwave you off the level. So hopefully you don't want that, so it's way safer to just shoot him and then go get the blueprints. And now we just use the crusher to push ourselves out of bounds, get this GB. And we are going to go out of bounds again, because now we want to exit factory as we are done. So we are going to void out with the crusher, just so we can spawn back at the beginning and then leave the level. Oh, were you talking? Yeah, might set the. You can talk now. Sorry.
Okay, I was gonna say, for a bit of a celebration of your win there, we got another donation here. We got $20 from Nico Playthings saying, "Come on, guys, you don't want Zombie to sing the DK rap? I mean, that is still up, you know, for up to you guys. You want to get us to $7,000 before the end of this run? I will sing the full thing for you all, for charity."
Yeah, sorry about that. But sometimes my headsets, it shuts down if it doesn't have any sound for like 30 minutes, so that's why I couldn't hear you. But now we're back, quickly grabbing Tiny's Splat, and this is the moment where we actually gonna go back to Japes. So if you remember earlier, I mentioned we're going to have two trips to Japes. The reason we do 2 trips to Japes is because, well, at the beginning we only have DK and DD. And turns out both all the other 3 Kongs actually have a lot of very fast GBs in here. So it's pretty worth it to come back. Actually, what am I doing? I need to not forget to do this. So we want to grab this one. So something it's not really explained in the game, I don't think. It's not even the move that you have to buy, but Chunky just has the abilities to grab rocks and move them. And so sometimes you have these instrument pads with rocks on them, which you just have to remove, and then you can play in the instrument and get the GB. So yeah, that being done, let's go to Japes 2. So this is gonna be very fast, and the first thing we're gonna do is another skew. So you're gonna get to see more conks laying down on the floor. This time is gonna be a bit different. So I'm gonna get tiny. And I'm gonna do something called a gun dive. So a gun dive is what I just did there. So you slide off a ledge and you enter first person right as you enter water, and that cancels you losing your gun. So you can keep your gun in the water. So now I'm gonna use the cage to gain some height. There you go. And then I can backflip back and bounce. Perfect. And now I can just go over there, get the GB. So this is actually a very scary gap to do while being skewed, because if you remember, if you fall into the water while you are skewed, you lose the skew, meaning that I would have to get it again, because we're gonna need it to go through some walls here. There you go. So instead of opening the gate here, I can just walk through, no problem. So, you know, normally for this you have to be mini monkey, you don't need any of that. So I'm gonna switch back to Diddy, and we're actually gonna go through the wall again here. And we're gonna walk back to the main area of the level, and we're gonna collect Diddy's GB, which is in the cage, which normally you need. So all of these cage GB, normally, what you need to do is you need to use Rambi and then destroy some huts, and then in the huts there's switches, and then when you hit the switches, it starts a timer, and then you have to go grab the GB before the gate closes again. But with skew, you can just, you know, walk in the cage and get it. It's pretty great. No need of any Rambi, any timer or anything. Just walk whenever you want. Alright, so... Did I unskew? I did. Well, I can show you another way to skew then. So... you can do cannon skew. I missed. So you can actually cancel the cannon animation at a specific time, and you can skew out of that. I don't know if I can get it. No, it's too early. Too late. I actually don't want to waste too many oranges. I'm gonna go get this skew again the regular way. Actually, I think I'm gonna do it with Tiny because I'm used with Tiny. That's a shame I missed that, but oh well. Happens. So what happened there is that I think I was holding A as I was sliding down the mountain, and if you hold A without anything else, well, you lose skew. So that's an example of using it. Which is obviously really bad, because then I have to get it again. Alright, where am I? Okay. Okay, so I don't know if this is gonna be good enough. I guess we'll see. No, it's impossible to beat the game without glitches. You have to glitch. Okay, so let's see, does this work? It does, okay, barely. That was not a good skew, so I didn't rotate the Kong enough here. But it's just enough rotated that it should work. There you go. So here I'm gonna use this torch. I'm gonna jump over the wall and go out of bounds. So I don't have to do the little puzzle here. Well, by puzzle, like this puzzle is essentially killing a bunch of bees that spawns in waves, so skipping that, don't need to worry about it. So now I'm gonna go get some more Lenky stuff. He has a part in the cave where he has a blueprint and a bonus barrel, so we're gonna go and get both of them. He's gonna use a shockwave. Yeah, option of walls. So here I'm going to do a little bit of a skip. So I'm going to skip to the second vine. There you go. So normally you have to jump on the tree next to the mushroom and then grab the first vine and then go. But you can just use the mushroom, propel yourself to the second vine while collecting the first coin and skip a little bit of time. And their little neat den skip. You can do up the wall. And now I'm going to try something that I've learned like 3 days ago. So hopefully it goes well. So we're going to go to Chunky's Underground. And in there, there's a splat for his blueprint and a GB. And I'm going to glitch to the splat instead of doing it normally. So hopefully I can get out of bounds. I'm going to do a face fall. That was a bad angle. There you go. And if I align myself with this wall, should get about where the splat is. So to cross the gap here, I need to do a skip jump. Oh no, I fell. Okay. I was worried that was gonna happen. That's okay. So skip jumps are frame perfect, and I missed it there, and I just jumped to my death because I didn't get the skid jump. You need to get the skid jump to get the distance to reach the other side. There you go. Barely reached it. Oh yeah, we have I think 3 other skew. No, 4. Sorry. Yeah, 4 other skew. You have many other times to see it. Damn, okay. I had to use the beaver to damage myself into the GB to skip the dance, but didn't get it. So yeah, we're pretty much done with Japes now. So it's time to go to our next level. So we're gonna use warp 4 to go back here because there's a DKGB right underneath the warp. Oh, okay. Didn't OZ long enough, but that's fine. So we're gonna get this, and then we're gonna go to Galleon. Alright, so before entering, I'm just gonna get the splat real quick. Alright, 36 here. That's usually my checkpoint. I have 36 GB, so I didn't forget anything. That's good. So we're gonna do a few things with Chunky at the start here, and then we're gonna do another skew. This time I will actually be doing a cannon skew, so don't be sad that I didn't get it with Lanky, because we're gonna do it with Chunky here with the cannon. So you'll get to see how a cannon skew works. What if destroy these? So I'm gonna go back up. We're gonna tag Warp 3 to use later. And then we're gonna fall down and do this queue, so it's gonna save us a little time later. So you need essentially to cancel the cannon animation at a specific point. So that's what I'm gonna try to do. I went in too early. Okay. It's somewhat precise, so. Damn. I am not getting it today. It's fine, it's still safe time. Oh, what the camera was? Okay. Oh, we got it. So we got Cannon Skew. As you can see, Cannon Skew skews you the other way. So now we have Chunky's butt facing up instead of the other way around. So I can use this kind of skew to go backwards into walls. And I'm gonna go all the way over here, and we're gonna spawn snag a golden banana. So this is supposed to be the Cannon game golden banana, but we grabbed it from out of bounds before the room load with the skew. So now, yeah, we got the GB without doing the puzzle. And then I'll do another face swim all the way to here. One thing you're going to see a lot in this level is a lot of face swimming, so obviously this is the water level of DK64. Sorry, DK54. Yeah, so there's going to be a bunch of face swimming and me swimming through walls. Yep. So now this is gonna be our first trip to Snide. So when you go to Snide, you turn in all the blueprints that I've been getting from the Casplats, and you're just gonna see it's just going to give me like all the GBs in a row. So you know, if you have bananas, emote, or whatever, you can, you know, it's time to put them in the chat. So that's just, you know, a little preview. There's gonna be many more later.
Hey, Obio, you got a moment?
Yes.
So, first off, we got another donation, $30 from Anne-Marie. Did someone say DK Rap? I did indeed. Once again, make it to 7 grand before the end of this run, and I'll sing the full thing. Furthermore, what's this money going to? Why are we raising money? Well, we're raising money for, see if I can pronounce this right. I'm horrible with French. I'm very, very sorry. Les Petits Rois. And their mission is to promote the education and development of children with intellectual disabilities whether or not they fall on the autism spectrum throughout the entirety of their lives. They offer tools and support projects dedicated to providing them with stimulating, adaptive environments that facilitate their path towards a life of autonomy and personal growth. Furthermore, we do have some incentives going on this weekend just to make the speedrunning that much more interesting. So, of course, upcoming bid wars that we have going on is the Halo 3 versus Halo 4 bid war, which currently Halo 3 is in the lead, but only just. That can still be snagged very easily. Not to mention, we got a bonus game coming up, which we can get there. I believe in all of you. I believe in all of you that we can get to the 10,000 mark to get that bonus game, which is Prince of Persia: The Forgotten Sands. And let's see what else we got here. Of course, saving Meryl or Otacon in Metal Gear Solid. That's going to be coming up actually within the next 5-ish hours, give or take, depending on scheduling, of course. And Meryl is winning by a landslide there. So if you want to see Otacon get saved, you got some work to do, but it's not impossible. So we got some great incentives coming up to make some of the games really spicy this weekend. So I'm looking forward to a lot of that. And yeah, that's all I wanted to pipe in and say real quick. So back to you, Obio.
Thank you. Alright, come on guys, let's get this DK rap. I want to hear it too. So, now I just fight Puff Toss, the boss for Key 4, which is essentially, you know, the stars always spawn in the same place, so it's just knowing the pattern and going around. So I'm going to use the collision of the portal that disappeared to go out of bounds. Oh god, okay. The camera doesn't want to load the other portion. Okay, good. Because I need to use this to go over here. So instead of opening the gate to get to the other area of Galleon, I can just walk all the way over here from the portal and go to the cactus, which is where the maybe the most annoying Kasplat of the game is. Oh, he's actually pretty nice right now, I think. Oh no, okay. As you see, he's on a tiny platform and he's like just shock waving. Okay, nice. Not too bad actually. Sometimes he decides to just shockwave over and over again. It's like literally impossible to get on the platform because you just keep getting knocked back, you know, in the water, and he just doesn't want to do anything with you. But you know, it was pretty nice this time. So now I want to do some more face swimming. So this wall of the ship is actually on the right angle to just do face swims. So you can just swim through things. And get in here. And now we're gonna see our friend Patrick the Star. So hopefully it doesn't hit me. Okay, it was pretty nice. So sometimes Patrick can block you in here and hit you, and then it becomes a nightmare. But he was pretty nice. So now I'm going to do Lanky, and Lanky's door is also in the right angle to just face swim, so we can just go through the gate, get in here for a quick GB. This one you don't really have to do anything either, it's just sitting there, you know, just grab it and leave. Pretty convenient. I'll exit, and we have one more GB with Lanky and this ship over there. But to get in here, we need to face swim on this wall and come from underneath. And hopefully get into the loading zone. There you go. So yeah, so now you're about to see some more face swim. So as I said, this is a water level, so face swimming is going to be extremely useful to just go through walls and get the stuff you need. Also, the hitbox of this GB is awful. Okay. As you saw, I like literally swam through the GB at first and nothing happened. So now we void out, come back to the beginning. I'm actually gonna grab the oranges because I am very low on them. Just to be sure and I have enough. And then we're gonna do one more face swim to the Canon game room once again to get Lenky's blueprints. Great. So now we're gonna do the first same face swim we did at the start of the galleon to go back to the lighthouse area, but this time we're gonna go and transform into Angwards. So this is the only time of the run we transform into Angwards, so enjoy it. So yeah, that's about it. So it's quick GB in chests. And now we have one more face swim to do here to get out of bounds and leave the level. I'll grab some more oranges to be sure. So yeah, that was Galleon, and yeah, we are not done with face swimming though. We have a few more to do, so we're gonna face swim here and go get the GB in this room, which normally you get by being tiny and mini monkey, but obviously who needs that? Alright, and now I'm actually going to do a save state because there is a moment coming up right now which is actually possible to soft lock. And remember, the game doesn't save because we're in MMM, which I did at the beginning of the run, so better be safe than lose the run. So I'm gonna try to get the GB from underneath without clipping into the cage. Great. Alright, got it. So if I clip into the cage, somehow I get soft locked there. And obviously you don't want that to happen, so thankfully it didn't happen. So now I'm gonna try to do another face swim on this little thing. This one is it's pretty hard to clip in there actually, in my opinion, but to be able to get it. Alright. The problem is sometimes Lanky dives too far below when he clips underneath instead of being clipped inside. So try to grab the GB from underneath. There you go. And I'm gonna jump into the loading zone to enter K-Lumsy from behind. Alright, so one more GB in here. So the GB in the cage, you can either get it by if you somehow get out of bounds, or otherwise you have to use the switch here. Obviously there's a pretty tight timer, but you know, it's fairly easy unless you like don't move for like 2 seconds. It's actually fairly important to go around the middle. Because we have keys waiting to be turned in, if we just walk through the middle to go to the cage, we would have to activate the cutscene, and then we would have lost the orangutan sprint, and we would have had to go back into the barrel and then press the switch again. So it's important to like go around the middle when you do that GB. Alright, so that's done. But we have a few more things to do in the overworld here. So we're gonna be with Chunky. And we're gonna warp back to the Banana Fairy Island. Grab some more crystals, just to be sure. I'm actually somewhat low, so I'm gonna get this extra one. And yeah, we're gonna transform into Hunky Chunky. Funky Chunky is a state that is actually very broken. It might be the most broken state in the game. We don't actually use it that much in an elite. It's pretty much the only place we use it. So you won't get to see all the cool stuff you can do with it, but you can see a few. So we're gonna do a swim through shore here to go underneath the island. Same thing as I used for the Banana Fairy Island earlier. And I can just grab the GB from underneath, and then I can just hit some water and swim all the way over here. And you know, when I hit the X, it blew up this rock, so I can get this GB. Now I'm gonna go to Fungi. Funky Chunky actually cannot enter cannon, so we have to go out of it, sadly. Oh no, not Tiny. What am I thinking about? DK, okay. So yeah, now we are at Fungi, 52 GB, that's the right count. So yeah, now we're gonna go back to here. So we will be doing the GB in here, which you need to like shoot all the switches. Now we need to end on DK for a specific reason, which you're gonna see in like 30 seconds. But for now, we need to shoot all the switches. We have to wait until you hear the sound of the switch, otherwise it doesn't work. If you enter the barrel before the switch is pressed, it just doesn't count. So here I'm gonna overlap two cutscenes. Here you go. So I overlap the cannon cutscene with the GB cutscene, and so now the cannon are spawning while I move instead of watching the cutscene of the cannons. So just wait for it to spawn. So yeah, so now we are at the top. We're gonna use Lanky, and we're gonna go press the switch at the top. The switch opens two doors, and there's one of the doors which has a very fast GB, so we're gonna grab it real quick. Alright, so just gotta jump on the mushroom, just get the GB. Pretty straightforward. Very fast. So now I'm gonna grab Chunky, and we're gonna jump down to the Kasplat, and hopefully I don't get smashed. Okay, good. It has happened to me multiple times in the past where the Kasplat has hit me off the platform all the way down to the bottom, and that's a pretty massive time loss, because getting back up there is not fast. But thankfully the Kasplat was nice. Oh god, okay. That's another thing that can happen. The bees can just destroy you and send you off the level as well. Almost happened there, but thankfully the gate stopped me. Or the fence, I should say. So we good. Alright, let's go to Tiny. So I'm gonna prepare for another skew here. So I'm gonna do a gun dive. Use the camera to go out of bounds. And I'm gonna swim around. to that direction. And I'm... Oh no, that didn't work. That didn't work, yeah. Okay, I have to restart. Oh well. Okay, we saved it. Walk over here. Back in bounce. There you go. It's pretty hard sometimes to get these cues, especially there as you saw, like the camera was extremely unfriendly. It was really hard to see what I was doing there. So you kind of have to go with just your knowledge of the game and the sounds that you're making with the Kongs to know what you're doing. You just kind of have to trust that what you're doing is fine. Now we grab the blueprint and we're gonna go back with Tiny. So there is a ant-hill with enemies inside, and you need to kill the enemies to get the GB. But normally you need to be Tiny, you need to be Mini Monkey, and you need to play an instrument and watch a cutscene. But with Skew, you can just enter here. And if you remember Factory, we grabbed the instrument ammo specifically for this. You can, with the instrument, you can instantly kill enemies in certain rooms. This is one of these rooms, so with the instrument ammo, I can just instantly beat this room, get the GB, and get out. And by jumping off here, conveniently get back to the beginning of the level, which we want, because now we want to go to the left side of Fungi, towards Snide, so... Alright, perfect. So, some more bananas, so if you want to spam bananas again, this is your chance. $61 should be... I think it should be the right amount. Yes, it is. Okay, so now, in my opinion, the coolest boss in the game. Because we're gonna pretty much skip it, so... We're gonna use DK for this. And what I'm about to do here is that I'm going to place a barrel in a very specific spot so that the boss hits me and hits itself at the same time. And there you go, the fight is over. So by getting hit and hitting the boss on the same frame, it triggers the ending cutscene of the fight and grants me key 5. So that is Dogadon Quick Kill. And by the way, this specific Quick Kill works in the Aztec boss as well, but even though you're doing it in Aztec, it actually gives you key 5 as well. So you can get key 5 in the second level if you want. So now for the best wall in the game, we can just walk through it. Don't need to do anything special, you know, it's just a decorative wall. And yeah, just go to the GB. This is actually supposed to be a chunky GB, I think. Actually, I'm not sure. Is it a DK or... Oh no, that's a DK one, never mind. The other one is chunky. So yes, now we're gonna do some more face swimming. And we're gonna face swim into this cage. Get the quick GB. Oh no, I missed. Okay, this is bad. I hate missing this. I'm gonna start again. I couldn't see what was happening. If you're too low, it kind of messes up the thing. Okay, there you go. Perfect height. So after that, you can just exit. Exit the cage, thank you. There's always like one side that you can exit from, but it's never the same side for some reason. Okay, so now we're gonna swim over here. Oh, actually, this is a point in which you can soft lock, so it has never happened to me. But, you know, it's a marathon run, so I'll make sure it doesn't happen. There you go. So I used the spiny, whatever you want to call them, you know, things to skew myself here. Oops, bounce back into the barrel, so that I could grab this blueprint and then quickly just, you know, go out of bounds and void out. And 64 at 6 tape, yeah, exactly. And 54, sorry. So yeah, that's that was fun, guy. So now we're gonna do a jump, which is a lot harder than it should be. Okay, good. It's actually not easy. It's pretty tight to get this jump. It's very easy to fall down. Fell down many times. Alright. So we got Chunky. And we're gonna turn in Key 5. Key 5 unlocks 2 level. It unlocks Caves, which is a 6th one, and Castle, which is a 7th one. And in order to unlock the 8th level, we need both Key 6 and 7, so we're gonna have to go to both levels. And we're gonna collect a bunch of golden bananas at the same time. Okay, there you go. So we're gonna warp back to the warp ring, and I'm gonna warp to Warp 2, which is the closest one to caves. And on our way, we're gonna stop by one of the entrance pad, because there is one for Chunky, which is gonna give us another golden banana. And as you see, he plays the best instrument, the triangle, perfect for Chunky. And jump into caves, great. So here I'm gonna open the left side here. There's a lanky Kasplat, which we're gonna get the blueprint from. And hopefully he's nice to me. He usually shockwaves me as I try to shockwaves him. So hopefully he's nice this time. There you go, he was pretty nice. I have 8 crystal, that's actually pretty low, but I think I'm pretty gonna be fine. Because I need to use the rocket barrel 2 times in a short period of time. But I think I have enough crystals. Oh, I missed the barrel. Alright, it was 66, right number. So we're gonna enter caves now, and we're actually gonna be queuing 2 times in caves. So hopefully it goes well. This is by far the hardest place to skew, in my opinion. The camera is very unfriendly on DC here, and the water is pretty shallow, which makes it a lot harder to rotate the Kongs as well. But I'm sure we're gonna get it. So okay, well, I didn't get gun dive, but we can go out of bounds, pull out the gun, walk into the water. As you see, the camera is absolutely perfect. No problem at all. And okay, well, we got the crusher cutscene, that's fine. So I'm gonna try to rotate Diddy. There you go. Jump back and bounce. And now we're gonna do a pretty scary jump across the water here. Barely made it. It's very tight, but actually not that hard somehow. Like I rarely miss it, but it's still pretty tight. And here, I can actually soft lock here, so I'm gonna be very careful. I'm not gonna press the A button. Make sure I don't soft lock. There you go. Oh, okay. Okay, well, you know what? The important part of this queue was done, so losing this queue here is actually... I mean, you lose time, but it's not that bad. It's just unfortunate. You know, bad timing. I was trying to get into the rocket barrel, but didn't have time to get into it. So what I'm gonna do here, so I'm gonna quickly tag work 5 for later. And I'll go back into the rocket barrel. And go all the way over to the other tag. And then I'm gonna use DK and go to the rotating room. Okay. So normally I would still be skewed here. So I wouldn't have to play the instrument to enter the room, but you know, the game had other intentions, so gotta deal with it. Alright, so rotating room, and normally there's you have to be matching colors and stuff here, but you know, it's DK64, who has time for that? So you can just moonkick, which, oh my god, I missed the ledge, but you get the idea. I was a little too quick there. There you go. Oh yeah, so sorry, DK54, yeah, exactly. My bad, my bad. You know, I confuse the game a lot. They're pretty similar, right? I apologize. So now, in here, you just have to kill all the bees. So there's convenient homing ammo. Hopefully I don't have to grab extra. Which looks like I will have to because the homing ammo wasn't nice. You can definitely clear all the bees with only 10 of them. Oh my god. Okay, I'm just gonna get up here. It works better when you're higher for some reason. Oh my god, it's never this bad. I very rarely need more than like 12 or 13 ammo, and I needed all 20 here. That's kind of crazy. Okay, so I'm gonna do one more cabin here, which is gonna be Tiny's. And this one, you have to kill the claptraps with oranges, so hopefully I don't run out of oranges, that'd be a shame. Definitely has happened before. This is why I grabbed some extra earlier. Man. This is not looking good, actually. There we go. Thankfully, they do drop oranges themselves. You know, so helps a little bit. There you go. And I'm gonna try then skip here if I have time. There you go. So I can grab the GB, fall down into the void. So a pretty nice skip for a nice number. Okay. I had a blank for a moment. Okay, DK, yes. Okay, so now we're gonna skew for one more time in this round. This is the last one, I believe. Oh my god. Okay, I didn't have high water. I need the water to be highest here for Chunky. Okay, this is gonna work. Should work, yeah. Okay, so we're gonna go over here. So we have to go all the way to the other side of caves with this queue. Hopefully it's gonna. And this is probably the hardest GB in the run, by the way, what I'm about to do. So I'm gonna grab these instruments here, and I'm gonna go boost out of bounds here. Align myself with this, zoom out to load the other side of the zone. Oh my god, okay, this is bad. Good. Oh, okay, it didn't work. Well, my intention here were to jump from out of bounds into the igloo while being skewed and get the GB in the igloo. But for that, we need to do a very tight jump from out of bounds into the igloo. But I got a little too close to the inbounds and fell in. So sadly, I have to do a backup here, which I believe is this one. Should be this one. It's gonna kill the Russia. There you go. Really easy, as long as you kill the Crusher early, you know, this is not a problem. Alright, so now we need it to be tiny anyway, so this is why this is the backup. So we are going to take Warp 4, which we, if you remember, we tagged at the very beginning of Caves with TD. So we're gonna use this one. And there is a tiny monkey port in here, which is gonna bring us all the way into the other igloo and get this GB. So a fairly fast GB to get. And I'm gonna warp back. So here we're gonna do another phase swim to go out of bounds, and we're gonna go all the way back to the room we were just in with Chunky, which has Snide. So we're gonna go back here, and then we're gonna jump and bounce. There you go. And we're gonna attack Linky and go turn in some blueprints, so some more O bananas. Alright, there you go. Love to see the bananas. So now we're gonna do key 6. I'm gonna be using Chunky. So let's get Chunky. And we're gonna do another phase fall to get in here. Oh no, I got stuck in the portal little alcove. So I need to retry again. So behind the portal is actually like a small room. And I got stuck in it, so... Okay, didn't get stuck in it this time. So, there's only 2 boss which we haven't cleared the cutscene at the start. There was Key 1 and the second one was Key 6, this one. So we had to watch this one, sadly. So I'm gonna be looking down quite a bit here. So it's a way to redo slag. On VC there's not a lot of lag. On N64 it actually saves a lot of time to look at the ground here. On VC it's pretty minimal, but I still do it because, you know, gotta go fast, right? So I'm going to be looking at the ground quite a bit. So I'm going to take this barrel and I'm going to put it right in front of Armadillo here. So whenever he becomes damageable again, it will trigger the barrel straight away like this. So this is the fastest way to do this boss, and the first one as well, is to just put the barrel right in front of Armadillo and you know, let him blow it up. Also, whenever it goes into the roll animation, he's supposed to follow you for a while and try to hit you. But if you just jump into him and intentionally get hit, it just stops this phase of him. So the sooner you get hit by Armadillo, the sooner he's just gonna go to the next phase. Oh no, I was too close, okay. Oh well. That's the risk with doing the stratus. If you're a bit too close, then that's what happens. There you go. The cancel Will's face. It's actually pretty nice that we have infinite health for this boss. Doing this boss with normal health and only one melon is actually very scary. Very easy to die. Especially like if you go for like the intentional damage and whatnot. Right. So I want to try to intentionally get hit by the big missile here, which is gonna trigger the damage on the boss. Yeah. So essentially, the boss at the end here, it just waits until the big missile is done doing its thing to be damageable. So, you know, the sooner you get hit by it, the sooner he gets hit, essentially. So yeah, that's key 6. So, you know, we have Chunky by Snide, so you can probably guess what we're gonna do next. So, I better see some bananas in chat. There you go. Thank you guys. $84. Oh, okay. You know what, guys? I actually messed up. I want to fix this real quick. So, you know how earlier I missed that 1 GB? The thing is, you're supposed to, after that GB, to get one more blueprint. Which, is right there. I just realized this. So yeah, at least I realized now. Alright, let's go turn it in. That's what happens sometimes, you know, when you think of the backup instead of what you're supposed to do. But, you know, at least I figured out that I missed it now and not later. There you go. So one more O banana. Didn't soft lock. True. I mean, is there still a... I'm trying to think, is there still a way I could soft lock? Actually, yes, there's one. I think there's one. So I'm not out of the water yet, but it shouldn't happen. I will save before. I will save before it though, to be sure. All right, 85. That's the right number. So now we just have to get out of here. If I could get the face fall. There you go. It's a bit difficult there, but we got it. What matters? Got this extra orange. Alright, so done with caves. I'm gonna open this, and normally there's a GB in here in which you would use Strong Kong with DK to get there, But instead of using crystal for that and going all the way to the other room to get the barrel, I'm gonna be using iframes to get this GB. So I'm gonna go here, and I will damage myself and roll all the way over there during iframes to get the GB much faster. So yeah, now we are on our way to Castle. We don't have to turn in key 6 now because you need both key 6 and 7 to go to Helm anyway. So you can just wait to turn in key 6 after we leave Castle together with key 7. So no trip to Killamsey right now. Just gonna open this gate. That worked. So the reason I did work with DD but not DK is because if you death warp with DK after opening the gate will close again, so otherwise you would do it again because it's faster to get back to the attack barrel. Alright, let's go. So Castle. Right off the bat, we're gonna do another face swim here. And we're gonna do it to enter this trade in front of us. So we're gonna go all the way over here, fall into the water. And now we're gonna do a face swim combined with the swim through shore to get into the tree. Let's go. Oh wow. Yeah, the bats are pretty aggressive in here actually. Gotta be careful. Oh wow. That is actually very unlucky. So if you get hit during your shockwave, before your shockwave hits the plat, your shockwave doesn't hit. So it was barely too late for me. And here I'm just gonna go over here, load this room, and I am going to kick into GB, effectively skipping the entire puzzle. So normally you're supposed to get on this like wooden thing that's floating, and you know, shoot a bunch of targets, but you know, don't have time for that here. So I'm gonna do another face swim here. So I'm gonna try to go over there. There you go. So there's a pretty small gap in which you can go out of bounds here, and you can air swim to the other side of the level. So as you see, instead of walking all the way around Castle, you can just, you know, get out of bounds, swim all the way over here, way faster. And then we're gonna get our last splat, which is gonna be Diddy's here. Oops, don't want to do that. There you go. And so now that we are done with all the splat that we need to go turn in the remaining blueprints that we have. So we still have blueprints for Diddy, and we still have blueprint for DK. So we're gonna go to Snide, and in this level, Snide is at the very top of Castle. So we're gonna go get the nearest rocket barrel and fly all the way up there, and do the remaining O bananas. Oh, wow. 801 fake beam. We've already passed the fake beam. Sadly, didn't need to collect it in this run. So yeah, this is almost your last chance to spam bananas. There's gonna be one more shortly after this, and then we're gonna be done with the snipe for this run. '91 should be fine. Alright, so let's go get DK. I'm actually gonna hit this guy. So, I've had a bad experience with this Russia where he hit me all the way from the top of castle here, all the way to the first level at the bottom of castle. And I probably fell for a good 20 seconds, and that was not a good experience. So, now every time I get past this guy, I make sure to hit him just so he doesn't hit me. Alright, last two bananas. $97, perfect. Alright, so now we have 3 more GBs to get, so we're gonna get hit one here. So I'm gonna try to fall into a pixel gap here on the ledge. Which could take a little while. Okay. And I'm gonna enter the back door of library, which is where the GB is. So normally you enter by another door and you have like a bunch of stuff to do. But you know, we can just glitch into the back door and get the GB right there without doing anything. Much faster. And as you saw, I got the GB and shot the switch at the same time. So I overlapped the door opening with the GB dance, saving a little bit of time. Alright, so I'm gonna Chunky, and we're gonna do to Chunky's shed. And we got the Chunky's instrument ammo in caves as I was doing this queue, so I can just play the instrument here, kill all the bats, and spawn the GB right away. And I'm gonna try to set up for a dance skip here. There you go. 99. So we won't get 100 now. We're gonna actually fight key 7 first. So let's get in there. If I can do a face fall, perfect. Alright, key 7. So it is cutout K-roll. So the principle of this boss is essentially you just have to go in the cannon and hit the big cutout. And there's gonna be like one fake cutout and one real cutout. So you have to hit the real one. The real one is the one that is that has like the right color. The other one is like way darker. So this is the right one. And as the phases go, the cutout is gonna go faster. It's gonna do more stuff. But overall, it's just a matter of like going in the cannon at the right time and you know, not losing cycles. So, first arm gone. He spawned in the right place, nice. So, he can never spawn on the same side of the last lasers. And he also always spawns on the opposite side of the fake cutout. So as you saw, that cutout had like way darker colors. So I knew for a fact the real one spawned on the other side. Because that's always how it works. Alright. And so here, on the second set of laser, it's gonna spawn to the right of that, so I will prepare the second cannon. And as he goes into the second cannon, it can just enter straight away. So the third phase, he goes like really quick in a circle in the cannon. But when you know where it's gonna spawn, it's a lot easier. So because he's gonna spawn in this one, because of where he shot, so you can just enter this. And now I'm purposely gonna kill Lanky because nobody likes Lanky. And we're gonna go get Tiny because we need to be Tiny after key 7. There you go. So that was got out key roll. Pretty straightforward, but you know, as long as you have your timing down to enter the cannon on the third phase, this boss is pretty easy. But if you struggle with entering the cannon at the right time, it can be pretty hard. Especially on BC, because the window to enter the cannons is actually pretty short. Alright, so key 7 down, so we have one more thing to do in Castle, which is gonna be our 100 GB. The last one we're gonna collect in this run. Oh, okay. I almost backflipped up the level. So we are going to enter the trash can, and this is another minigame where you have to kill enemies, and because we have the instrument with Tiny, you can just instantly play the instrument and kill all the enemies and get the GB. So pretty convenient. Where's the camera? Okay, this is a weird camera. So yeah, 100 GB. Always a nice number to see, you know, it means that you were near the end. So now all that's remaining is to go get key 8 and beat the final boss, so that's what we're gonna do. So I'm going to death warp real quick here, so we get closer to the entrance. And to access the 8th level, which has key 8, we need to turn in both key 6 and 7 here. Alright, there you go. So after this, we're gonna go up to Helm. We're gonna use the monkey port that we used to go to Factory. That monkey port is actually supposed to be used to go to Helm and not Factory. But because we already had monkey port, we could use it to go to Factory faster than the intended way. So we're gonna go back to the back. We're gonna go to the back of the Carol ship again and get up there. Oh. Alright, so to enter Helm, we need Chunky. The only way to enter is by spawning the vines and using them. And so Chunky is the only one capable of doing that. Alright, so hide all the Helm. So normally, if you played this game before, it's like a huge sequence of things you need to do to power off something called the Blastomatic. Well, we are speedrunners, right? So we don't need to do that. So I'm gonna go up the slope here. Normally you need to be lanky, but you can just do kick slides and jumps to get up there instead of using lanky. So I'm gonna switch back to chunky to get the switch. And I'm gonna go out of bounds. So I'm gonna use this terminal here, and I'm gonna be using it to pull myself out of bounds in the corner. There you go. And I'm actually gonna be doing my last restore point here. There are rooms in which I can get stuck, which I don't know how to get out of. So this is the last point in which I could get soft lock. Hopefully not. So align myself with this wall, and then if I go forward, I should get to DK's room. Yep. So now I just have to walk around DK's room. And this is all navigation I have to do to get to key 8. So the objective right now is just to get key 8, get to the end. So I have to navigate around a bunch of stuff. So, where am I? Okay, good. Just jump in, bounce. I'm just gonna grab these oranges. I think I am low. So, I'm gonna do another terminal clip. This time I'm gonna use the gap in the terminal itself to go out of bounds. Go underneath here. And all that's left is to reach key 8. So we can just go from underneath and backflip and bounce. So that's key 8. And now we need to get out. And this is actually something that before we couldn't do. So for a long time this route was impossible. But because we have phase falls now, we can do it. So all we need is to phase fall out of this room. Otherwise we would have been stuck in here. And we also have to phase fall this door to exit Helm. There you go. So now we have key 8, we are out of Helm. So the last thing that's remaining is to beat Carol. So we're gonna be heading to the last boss. But first we need to turn in key 8 and 3, which we still haven't turned in. And so now starts probably the best cutscene in the entire game, so I'm gonna let you guys enjoy this. So yeah, Clumsy being super clumsy, kicking down Carol's ship, so that we can go fight him now. So let's get there. Might be the best cutscene in the game. It's so silly, but it's so good. Alright, last boss of the game. This is actually a very long last boss, as you're going to see. It's about 12 minutes long. And it's mostly... It's almost an auto-scroller, because most of the phases are pretty script, and you can do the same thing and it will always work. So... as long as I don't do mistakes, it should be pretty straightforward. So there's gonna be 5 rounds. Each one's gonna be for one Kong. So the first one's gonna be DK, then Diddy, then Lanky, then Tiny, and the last one's gonna be Chunky. So we have to beat K-Rool 5 times, with each time with one Kong, and then it's gonna be done. So round 1, there's a bunch of... jump back. There's a bunch of barrels that will appear in each corner. And we have to hit K-Rool 4 times. For the first one, you can just shoot straight away. Otherwise, K-Rool's punches in the air, right? And depending on which barrel you are in, he's gonna punch a different amount of time. So it's gonna be 0, 5, 3, 7. So this one, after 3 punches I can go. And then after 7 punches, the next one, I will be able to fire. So it's always the same pattern. So as long as you remember the pattern, this is pretty straightforward. Alright, so DK phase done. Now probably the spiciest phase, which is Diddy's. This is like the only one that's not really scripted much. Which, you know, you can lose quite some time here. So hopefully it goes well. Oh, I missed the barrel. Oh my god. Depth perception there, and then get in the barrel. So the idea is to hit these marks on the lamps if I could. Oh my god. And by hitting both, the lamps falls down on K-Rool's head, and you have to do that for all 4 of the lamps. And you can kind of glitch your gun into the lamp itself, and you can shoot one of the switch from the other side if you like stand on the side here like this. So it skips, like, you can get like both switches really quickly if you're in the right spot. There you go. First switch was a little rough, but the other 3 went pretty well. The reason this is possible is I didn't really talk about it, but the projectiles that comes out of the guns, they spawn at the end of the barrel of the gun. They don't. So if the barrel of the gun is in a wall, the projectile will spawn on the other side of the wall. So that's why that double shot on the lamps was possible. So now we need to make K-Rool slip on some bananas. So what you have to do is you have to get these barrel, place them at some place, and then by playing the instrument, you lure K-Rool into the banana peels. Oh, is this gonna work? I think yes, it is. Okay, he's on the banana. This is gonna work. There you go. I couldn't see the banana at first, so it was kind of scary. So as long as you follow the optimal pattern, like this is not a problem at all. Oh no. I probably lost a cycle. Oh well. That's fine. So that's lanky face. So now the longest phase, which is tiny, is gonna come. Tiny phase is... it's all patterns, and it is very long. And a lot of it is gonna be lag reducing as well. Alright, let's go. So, first thing I'm going to do is that I'm going to go on the pole and I'm going to look away from Carol, and this is to reduce lag. And Carol always does a set amount of ground pounds, depending on which phase of the ground he is on. So I know when to look back the other way. And what I'm going to try is to land directly in the barrel. Okay, I was slightly too early. But what I'm going to do optimally is to land in the barrel as it spawns. And so the idea of this phase is to hit the toes. So it goes from left to right, and the first toe only takes 1 damage, the second toe takes 2 damage, and you know, the fourth one takes 4 damage, right? And the toes try to attack you in cycles, but the cool thing is that they're always the same cycle. So for the first 2 toes, the toes always move the same way, and the third and fourth toe always work another way. So if you memorize the pattern, you can stand in the right way all the time. And by looking down, I'm also reducing lag where I can. So like right now it's gonna be 2, 3, 3, 2, 2. So as long as you know the pattern, it's really easy. And damaging the toes with oranges is the fastest way, because as soon as they become available to be damaged, the explosion of the orange is gonna damage them. So it's like the fastest way you can do it. Wow, I missed the barrel. Okay. You don't want to miss the barrel too much because it doesn't stay like this all the time. Like, you will go back to running around. Okay, one more toe. So as you see, it's like as long as you know the pattern, this is pretty straightforward. Reduce lag as much as possible. Hit the toes as early as you can. Alright, so that is done for Tiny phase. So we only have Chunky left, so time is gonna be in like about 2 minutes, whoever's on time. So yeah, let's do this. This phase, so we have to hit Carol 4 times, and to do so, we have to hit a switch in the middle, then go back to the corner, get invisible, and then get into the barrel in the middle. So there's going to be a lot of back and forth to be able to hit Carol. So after you hit the switch, if I didn't miss it, would be great. Then go back into the corner. In the barrel, then you become a Unky Chunky, and the thing here is to time your punch when Carol is available to be hit. If you punch too early or too late, you get hit by Carol and you lose a cycle here. So you have to do this 4 times. And then you're going to see the speed at which he goes is different each time he tries to punch you, and also on the 3rd and 4th try he's invisible as well. But you have this shadow, which is not that much of a problem. And this one is really fast. Alright, so last hit. So as soon as the 4th hit connects, it's gonna be time. And time. So that was Donkey Kong 64. Oh wait, sorry, Donkey Kong 54. No, that was early.
Yes, Donkey Kong 54 on the Nintendo 54. The best in retro systems. That was an amazing run through of Donkey Kong Country. Very well done.
Thank you. I hope you guys enjoyed. I really like doing the run, so, you know, hopefully you guys feel the same.
It's just a great childhood game that I enjoy every time I get to see someone beat the snot out of it quickly. But yeah, you got any shout outs, special thanks you want to give to people?
Well, not really. I guess shout outs to the DK64 Speedrun community. Bunch of cool guys in there, and it's always fun to to play the game with them. And thank you for NoReset for having me once again. Been on here many times, and it's always a pleasure to be here to help.
Well, we're definitely glad to have you, and all the rest of the amazing runners that are going to be coming up. But speaking of which, what have we got coming up next here? I swear I just had a... There we are. See, coming up next we got Jazz Punk, which is going to get ran by Catlink. So that's going to be pretty awesome. And I believe we're going to be tossing it over to a new host as well. Make sure I'm getting this name right because my brain is running on 0 energy right now. Is it Keishi? I'm sure that I've got it wrong, and I'll get made fun of, and I'm okay with that. I'm fine with that. All right, I got it right. Yes. Good. But yeah. Obio, thank you very much for the run. My brain is just gone right now. Obio, thank you very much for the run, and Any final words for the amazing people out there watching right now?
Well, I guess I'm a bit disappointed we didn't get to hear the the singing of the DK rap, but that's alright. But just keep donating, guys.
I gave people their goal. They had a goal.
Yeah, the goal. It's alright. Maybe next time.
Speaking of goals, we do still have that Halo 3 versus Halo 4 bid war, as well as the Metal Gear Solid Saving Meryl or Otacon. Both those still up. You can make a difference in those. You may have missed the DK rap, but you're not going to miss those. So definitely get out there, donate, make a huge difference. But Keishi will be with you guys here shortly, alongside of Catlink and their speedrun of Jazz Punk. Stay tuned.